My name is Simone and I'm the Zen Mommy. I help people with their spiritual awakening and navigating their ascension and guiding you through the healing of the mind, body, and soul. Today, it's going to be my Ascension Energy Update, and I think I'm going to name it Tough Shift because I'm really feeling like that things have been tough. And I apologize. I'm a couple of months behind on my, I skipped too much of this Ascension Energy, my Ascension Energy updates that I started. So I'm kind of cover a little bit all of it at once. And tomorrow's the full moon. What I was going to say, before I get started, thank you subscribers for being with me. If you're new watching my video, hit subscribe and the bell button and you will be notified every time I release a video, okay? So as far as the Ascension, so where should I start? Well, I have to start when I was back in Florida, okay? As you guys, most of you know, I moved back to California. That video will be coming in the blog soon as to why. But let's just talk about what some of the things that I was going through during this Ascension update, okay? So back in 2 months ago, okay, when I literally thought I was going crazy, like, first part of my awakening, you know, you have your trying times and stuff like that. You know, issues are coming up, you're working through them. But I started to feel like I was losing my mind. And literally, I thought maybe I was thinking, should I lay off on the ayahuasca? And I was going through, I was like, what's going on? Like, I felt like I couldn't focus, I couldn't concentrate. I felt like my ego was constantly like telling me everything wasn't real. Like, it was really like getting on me. And I had all of these blocks in place and I didn't understand it. One night I was meditating and my higher self said, you're going through a big download right now. I think it was like a big download is underway. This is what it's going to be like, you know, trying to get through this download right now. You're going to be fine. And so I didn't really think much of it. And then I watched the video of my friend Victor Odo, and he's the one who coached me, and I love his Ascension Energy updates, and there was something that he said that was key that I'm going to steal for my video right here. He says, when my spirit said that there was a download underway or an upgrade, he was essentially saying, if you look at the iPhone, anytime you have an update, you can't access the other features. So essentially, spiritually, we're going through a major change right now. The Ascension Energy, we talk about it raising and raising. Of course it's raising, it's not going down, okay? But we are experiencing a transformation, okay? We are developing from our 3D, 4D bodies to a higher being of consciousness. So we're going to have levels of downloads and upgrades. And you'll feel like, for moments, am I going crazy? And obviously I'm not the only one, because I've had a few people message me about this, especially about the third eye video. And by the way, I got the request that I should go deeper. I'm going deeper into it. I'm going to go deeper into grounding. And because I realized that it's just not me. This is part of the ascension, right? You might start noticing a fuller third eye awakening than which you already had. You might, there was moments where I'm feeling completely sensitive. I feel like I can feel the world around me. I can tell when somebody walks in their room and they wear their insecurities on their shoulder. I can tell when somebody's upset with me and they're not talking. Like, it's all about awareness. When you're aware, you'll be able to read the subtle vibrations and energies around you. And so it's just like, if you're an empath, buckle up, because you're in for a rough ride with this ascension. Now, throughout the ascension, you'll get a download, and then you'll get a little break where you're feeling a little bit more at peace again. You're feeling a little bit more happy, but it's not quite yet over with yet. But you'll also feel like after you're done with, you know, that download, a new you will emerge. And I've heard Victor say that before, but I'm telling you from firsthand experience, I don't even feel like the same person anymore. A lot of blocks I had was moved. Like, a lot of things that helped was moved. And I've evolved to a point where when I first got back to California, I changed so much. I was different. And I was sitting there one night, I was so different. I was standing up to people who are that I thought was taking advantage or hurt me, and I was just like, you know, I had this attitude that I'm never gonna let anyone ever hurt me again. I'm never gonna let anyone make me feel less than what I am. I like totally took my power back, all the power I lost, you know, dealing with people who brought me down. I started to learn that I started to see that I'm great. I'm the one that's beautiful. And like soon as I started making that change, I all of a sudden saw that I wasn't allowing certain things anymore. I wasn't being weak anymore. I wasn't letting people walk over me anymore. And I was like, God, I'm so different. I was kind of feeling like I was going crazy because the change was so strong. And then there's, I don't know if we've ever talked, we have never talked about walk-ins. Well, a walk-in is when like another soul or spirit takes over your consciousness. Say like this really happens with like near-death experiencers or ayahuasca. Like when you're gone, you're actually gone for a longer period of time than what this body in this 3D life is gone. So it'll be like it's still you. It's still you, but it feels like a different you. And so I was feeling like I had a walk-in, and I was almost sure. I was just like, something's different. I must be walking something there. A definite change took place between Florida and California. I was like, I'm not the same person. And I started to look back on my past. Like I looked pictures at my ex and I was just like, what was I doing with him? Like and I look at the other ex, and I'm like, I barely remember the life I had with this guy. And if I think hard enough, I can remember. But I was just like, I'm different. I'm not that person. And I realized that this was the ascension, that we're getting these upgrades to better versions of ourselves. And when the whole walk-in thing, we're all one spirit. The only thing that walked in was an upgraded aspect of me. A version of me that wouldn't let anybody walk on her. A version of me that knew that she was beautiful, knew that that loved herself. And when I began to see that my consciousness was being upgraded, I started to understand what's going on with this ascension stuff. So this is over the past couple of months. Let's say the last full moon. So I don't really get into all the full moon stuff because I really honestly don't deeply know all of that lingo yet. But I can tell you how I feel about this energy about the full moon. The past 2 full moons have been powerful. And when I say powerful, both months, the last couple of months, I went to a severe emotional right before the moon. And like I've been strong. I came back to California. I had a situation. It was kind of rough. Me and my son was homeless for a while. We lived in a hotel, and I was very strong. I had finally wasn't worried about anything. I finally didn't feed any fear into worrying about anything. And I was strong. And I was like, I'm gonna do this. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna face it, and everything's gonna work out. I was like, no, I'm no longer manifesting that negativity anymore. And I told myself that. And I was being really strong, and I was doing good. And then a couple days before the full moon, maybe the day before, I can't remember exactly, I lost my planner. In my planner, I began to take notes about all the videos I wanted to do here and different other type of notes for different things I'm doing. And it was very important for me because that was going to be my Zen Mommy planner. And do you know that I lost the planner? And when I got back to the hotel, I sat there and I bawled tears for hours, almost a full day, because I lost the planner. And then I realized that I didn't even realize that until now, talking about that. I was like, why am I crying so much? And I was thinking, maybe I'm crying so much because maybe, deep down I am a little worried. Deep down it's like, I feel like, God, why do I have to go through this again? Why am I getting unstable? Why did this whole situation since Florida? And don't get me wrong, I don't regret that move. I felt like it was something I was supposed to do, but it wasn't what I thought. It wasn't for me to go and start this whole new life. It was for me to learn some valuable lessons to help evolve my consciousness. And so now that I'm here, the next new moon, this new moon, same thing. I've been over emotional this week. Not over a planner, but, and it started to hit me, wait a minute, it's the full moon, it's the energies. another thing I want to tell you about the Ascension, and we'll add this to the full moon. I'm talking about manifestations going quickly. I'm talking about, I made a manifestation list last full moon. And see, I'm not going to get into this because I have a full video about what I manifested. And it's an amazing story. But I decided I wanted to manifest some things. I made this list of these things that I wanted. Very detailed list. I took previous manifestations. If you follow me, you probably know which ones I'm talking about. And I learned from them. And I made this all inclusive, like this is what I desire, right? Before the full moon, I got everything on that list. I'm trying to tell you that this energy is powerful and it's time to harness it any way that you can, you know, like just get through these days before the full moon. Before the full moon, see, the reason why there's a lot of negative energy in the environment, a lot of toxic things happening right before the full moon, because during the few days before the full moon, there's a lot of positive ions overpopulated in the environment. So the positive ions, so what happens, so when I learned this, because when you sage, right, when you burn sage smoke, and how to smoke, it clears negative energy. The sage smoke actually emits negative ions to neutralize the positive ions, and that's how it removes negativity out of your house or your aura. Okay, so before the full moon, the world, the earth is full of a lot of positive ions. So therefore, that's why a lot of negative events happen. The hospitals are full, you get angry and emotional. See, if you begin to act out on those emotions and anger, you will essentially just get caught up in it. So what you need to do is like try to resist it as much as you can, because the day the full moon comes in, that's when you're going to have a full embrace of a lot of positive energy flowing in. And so with this Ascension energy update, I just want to express to you that this Ascension is real. I'm not the same. And oh, also another thing I want to mention, I had my third eye awakening video, and that's another thing that's been happening throughout this Ascension, is the third eye, sorry, my thing got cut off at that last minute, so I'm just going to end this quickly because I'm going to have a hard time uploading it. I was just saying, like, during this Ascension shift right now, you need to watch out for getting just more sensitive, more in touch with your visions. You're going to probably seeing things, hearing things, thinking that you're going crazy. You have to understand you're not going crazy. The people that they check in the hospital, they're not going crazy. They just don't know how to handle that they've gotten all these abilities at once. So we're getting these abilities. I'm going to do more videos about it. I'm just going to suggest right now, grounding is so important. If you're going through this, if you can relate, begin to ground. I'm going to start working on a grounding video, and I'm also going to be selling grounding items that I create on my store at zenmommyawake.com. All right, thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.